let's make the idle animation. The idle animation is just to make the game a little bit more interesting for the player if the character is standing still. The character is just going to stand there for a couple of seconds, look left and right, and then bob up and down. Yeah, as I say, just to make it a bit more interesting, just to enhance the experience a bit if the character isn't moving. So I've clicked on Animation Player, brings up the panel at the bottom. New. Idle. Right. Click OK. This is going to be a 4.5 second animation. And it is not 4.5 second. 0.5. And it is not going to loop. So let's go add track. Playhead at 0, add track. Property track. Animating the sprite, and we want the frame. And I just want the standing still frame to start with, which is frame. Let's go into our sprite 2D. Frame 0. Keyframe frame 0, making sure your playhead is on 0. Good. And now we just want the player to stand still for 2 seconds. So I'm going to move my playhead to 2 seconds. Scroll along. And I want the player looking in the other direction. So we need to scroll through. Looking in the other direction. So it's frame 10. Keyframe frame 10. And then I found about 0.7 of a second is good. And I think I have duplicated the standing still frame at frame 11. Yeah, I have. No, I haven't. So now I need to go back to the standing still frame, which is frame 0, and keyframe that. And now I'm just going to go to within about half a second of the end, so 4 seconds, and I'm going to keyframe the player. He does a little bob up and down. That's it there. So it's frame 11. I'm going to keyframe that. All right, that looks good. Playhead back to 0. Let's try it out. Player stands there, doesn't do anything. Looks left and right. And, well, he bobs down, and it should bob up again. So I'm just going to put it on loop just for testing. Looks left and right. Bobs up and down. Looking good. Stop that. Cancel the looping before I forget. New animation. Idle left. Add track. Property track. Sprite 2D. Frame. And let's find him facing left. That can do. Frame 12. So get the playhead to 0. Always important. Keyframe frame 12. Now, player is going to stand still for 2 seconds. So let's click by this little clock here and change the animation to 4.5 seconds. Then change the playhead to 2 seconds. Scroll along. All right, that's where we are. And we want the player facing left but looking right. There we go. Frame 22. Keyframe that. What did I say? 2.7. You can do it whatever time intervals you want. But and I need to go back to the player facing left but looking the other way. Frame 12. Looking good. And then 4 seconds. Playhead to 4 seconds. We want the player doing its little bob up and down, so let's have a look for that. It is frame 23, keyframe frame 23. Back to 0. Loop the animation just for testing. And play. Looks left and right. Bobs up and down. Looking good. Back to 0. and turn off looping. And that is our animation for idle complete. So, mere minutes after completing the video for doing the idle animations, I realised I made a mistake. The animations do actually need to loop. So all you need to do is go into your animations. I'm in idle left, click the looping icon, idle right, click the loop icon. You have to make sure it's blue for it to work. So it says animation looping. If I go just check back in the left, yeah, it's blue. Mouse over it, animation looping. Okay, save that. Apologies for the error, and I will see you in the next section.